I don't know where the heck this year went, but 2022 is quickly coming to a close, which means that it's time to talk resolutions, as in not having any. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Megan Grant, and I'm your best freelancing friend, here to help you grow your freelancing business. If you're anything like me, then you are incredibly goal-oriented, which can be a really great thing. There is plenty of research that has found that people who set goals, and especially people who write them down, are likelier to achieve those goals. But is it really that simple? No, it's not. In this video, we're going to talk about how goal setting can actually hurt your progress as a freelancer, and then we'll talk about how to set goals and resolutions so that you are likelier to succeed. First, let's talk about why New Year's resolutions and long-term goals in general kind of suck and why you might want to consider giving them the axe. First of all, where you are in January and where you end up in December could be two completely different things, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. To assume that at the beginning of the year, you will know exactly where you should be at the end of the year is really unrealistic. For instance, at the beginning of 2020, did you think we were about to enter a global pandemic? I didn't. Also, as one of my subs pointed out, and this was such a good comment, there is nothing magical or mystical about January that makes it the optimal time to set new goals. Every single moment is a chance to be better, like right now, and right now. You get the idea. I feel like with resolutions or yearly goals, you're almost setting yourself up for failure. It's so much pressure. Now, I'm not saying don't have goals. Goals are still great. I'm saying set them better. Maybe you've heard of SMART goals. Specific, measurable, achievable, what's the R? Realistic, and timely. This is a good start, but we can do better. I'm going to share with you a few tips and tricks, things that have helped me find a lot of peace and fulfillment, and we will also talk about common traps to avoid. Tip number one, you want to make sure that you have both passive and active goals. This is something I talk about in my program, Revenue Spark. Passive goals are things that you can't directly control, whereas active goals are. Let's do an example. Let's say that your goal as a freelancer is to make $5,000 a month. This is a passive goal because you can't directly, actively control how much money you make. An active goal might be sending 20 cold emails a day or sourcing 50 qualified leads a week. You can control those things. And the really cool thing about having both passive and active goals is that if you hit your active goals, you are far likelier to hit your passive goals. You need both. Passive goals, like making 5K a month, they're nothing without active goals, which are the plan. That's how you're going to hit 5K a month. Plus, active goals are things that you can track and measure, which is really important to making progress. But active goals alone aren't enough because ultimately your goal isn't to source 50 leads a week, it's to make $5,000 a month. That's why you need both. More often than not, freelancers only have passive goals, like how much money they want to make per month. If you don't have the active goal that gets you there, it's a moot point. Tip number two, be the person that you want to be at the end of the year right now. I've done this a million times. I like to consider myself an expert. Have you ever said anything like, as soon as I have blah, 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 I will XYZ? I do that all the time. Still, it's a terrible habit. When you say things like that, you're essentially saying, I don't deserve this right now. And how do you think the universe is going to respond? It's going to continue not giving you all of the things that you want. I used to say things like, once I'm making $10,000 a month, I'll know that I made it. Or once I have 5,000 subs on YouTube, I'll know that I'm legit. Guess what? Been there, done that, doesn't change anything. Because once you hit those milestones, you just set all new ones. Once you hit 5K subs on YouTube, you just go, okay, no, I want 10K. Once I get 10K, then I'll be happy. Another really bad habit of mine is attaching numbers to the sense of confidence that I feel. So for example, once I'm making $10,000 a month, I'll feel more confident as a business owner. Why deprive yourself of feeling better? It sounds so silly because it is. You are already worthy of feeling amazing because you are. That's it. You don't need to make $5,000 a month or have 10K subs. I wouldn't be opposed to it, but you don't have to have it. You don't need those things in order to be happy, in order to deserve happiness. You deserve it right now. Don't withhold happiness from yourself just because you haven't yet hit your next goals. This is a win-win. A, you're going to feel better right now, and B, you're telling the universe, this is who I already am. And the universe is going to respond in kind by giving you things that you want. What you project is what you attract. Number 3, detach yourself from the outcome. I imagine Goddess herself standing on a mountain telling me this, and there's an echo, and it's very moving and amazing. Megan, detach yourself from the outcome. This is a tough one. I still struggle with this. If you have a death grip on the thing that you're trying to achieve, then you are approaching your goals from a place of fear and uncertainty. For instance, when I was first trying to hit $10,000 a month in my business, I was so hyper fixated on that number and nothing else that I was blind to everything outside of, I want to make 10K a month. And when I didn't immediately get there, I was a failure. I was a failure, and everything I had done was pointless because it didn't get me to where I wanted to be. Except everything that I was doing was building me up to making 10K a month, which I did eventually hit and then surpass. But you know what made my life so much easier? Caring less. This doesn't mean you stop having goals. It means that you have your goals and you set your intentions and you align your actions with your intentions, and then you let the universe take it from there. I read in a book once, and I wish I could remember what book it was, but I can't. The author said, this or something better. When you are setting your goals, whether it's in your mind or you write them down, always include, I want this or something better. This is what I really want right now, but if something even better comes my way, I'm open. Then you're not cutting yourself off from all of the, potential magic and creativity and awesome solutions that might be coming your way. These are things that you aren't even aware of yet, but you have to make room in your heart and your mind for the unknowable. When you do this, you are essentially freeing yourself because you're saying, whatever happens, I'm going to be happy with it. Whatever happens, it's going to be amazing. And if you truly mean that, then it will be amazing and you'll be happy no matter what happens, whether you hit the exact goal that you wanted or maybe something a little bit different. Take it from your old pal. I'm 34 and I have a long history of saying, this is exactly what I want. And if I don't get this exact thing, I'm going to be so angry. And that's happened to me many, many times. But guess what? My life has only gotten better, even though I haven't hit all of the goals, all of the things that I thought I had to have. I don't regret any of it. Looking back, I wish I had been a little bit more open-minded because I would have saved myself a lot of grief. Everything that we perceive with our 5 senses is energy. It's energy and it's information. That's the only difference between you and a car, you and a tree, you and your goals. It's the form that energy and information have taken on. When you embody who you want to be later, right now, and detach yourself from the outcome of your goals, the outcome of your intentions, you make room for incredible things to happen that are even better than what you can envision. If you watched this video and you thought, well, that sounds like a load of poop, I want you to think about this. You're probably watching this because what you're doing right now isn't working. What have you got to lose? Try it this way. Just try it. Open your heart and your mind, and you might find that this approach and this mindset works really well for you. I didn't make this stuff up. Don't think I'm taking credit for it because I'm not. I've spent many years reading books and watching videos all about mindset and mentality, the law of attraction, the law of abundance, the law of assumption, all that jazz. I've tried a bunch of different things. Some of them I loved and I continued doing. Other things didn't really resonate, so I discontinued them. But the approach and the tips that I've shared in this video ended up being a really good balance for me because, like I said, I'm very goal-oriented. I need goals. But, as you now know, this is a double-edged sword because goals can also be a bad thing. If this is a topic that interests you and you want to learn more, here are a few books that I highly recommend. The first is The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. This was my most recent read. It was so good. It's a quick read. I'm probably going to go through it again. Rich as F by Amanda Francis. I have a separate video on this. The link is below. It is geared toward a female audience, but I strongly recommend it for any gender. In fact, one of the gentlemen in my program, he read it and said very good things about it. So if you can just, not worry about the fact that it's written by a woman for women, you're still going to get a lot out of it. Finally, Essentialism, the discipline, pursuit of less. Also have a video on that. I will drop the link below. I mentioned earlier that I cover some of this in my program, Revenue Spark. In fact, the course starts with a few lessons on mindset, mentality, and goal setting. From there, I teach you my exact process from start to finish for landing long-term, high-paying clients as a freelancer. There are 2 things you have to know how to do to make good money as a freelancer: land clients and keep them. I will teach you how to do the first thing. If you're interested in learning more about my program, the link is below. On my website, you can see the curriculum, a few testimonials, and if you want to move forward with the next step, that would be scheduling a call to speak with me personally. If you're still here, it's because you found this video helpful, and I would be very grateful if you could give it a thumbs up to support my channel. If you have any questions, just leave me a comment, and I'll see you in the next video.